My name is Sealth, Chief Sealth. I am the son of a chief, although some people know me better as Chief Seattle. I was born in the Suquamish tribe. Our name Suquamish means the people of the clear salt water, because we live near the islands in the far north, where it is cold in winter and very beautiful in summer. Our houses are long log houses made of trees that we fell ourselves. And we took these trees down and we made them into our permanent homes that we have with the doors facing the water that we live next to. In the summer, when things are nice, and the spring when it is sunnier and there is not snow on the ground, we leave these homes and we go and we chase down the things that we gather, like our food. We go and we fish with our nets, and we fish with our clubs, and we reach out of our canoes that we built ourselves. We have canoes called dugout canoes, where we take down one entire tree. And in this tree, which must have very few branches and be nice and straight and tall, we chip away the base of the tree with wood and stone until the tree falls, and we give the tree a nice soft landing. And when it falls, we chip away on the inside and we light fire, and we have steam go up the side so that we can take off the bark of the tree. And then we carve out a hollow middle to make our canoes. It is very important that we have these canoes because the land here has so many trees that it is very hard to get around by foot. So we must get around in the lakes and the ocean nearby. And it takes us all around the islands that they now call the Puget Sound Islands. In fact, our land now is a place called Washington. And in fact, the city of Seattle is named after me, Chief Seattle, because they thought that I was a very important person, and so they named the city after me. We have many resources here that helps us to exist as a people. What we like to do is harvest all of our food during the spring and summer months. And then we hold on to that food. And it is very nice here to store our food because it gets very cold in winter. We have a lot of snow. And so what we do during the summer is we catch extra fish and oysters and all kinds of seafood. When the salmon come, there are thousands and thousands and thousands of salmon. So many that it is actually said that we can walk across the backs of the salmon to get across the river. That is how many come. And so we take the extra salmon that are there, and some of the salmon go to the animals, and some of the salmon go to us in feeding our people. And then we take the extra salmon and we smoke them long and slow. We roast them over a fire. And above the fire we have made a special rack to roast these salmon and dry them out. And we rub into these salmon a little bit of wood smoke, and we rub into these salmon salt that we have harvested from the sea. And this keeps the salmon all throughout the winter so that we can eat this whenever we are hungry. And we can make stew with these salmon, with these potatoes that we dig up in the wild. Delicious potatoes. We can actually boil them right in our reed baskets that we make. And we make these reed baskets by coiling cedar roots. And it's such a strong basket. We can use it for gathering potatoes. We can use it for picking berries. But also the basket itself is woven so tightly together that it will hold water. To boil the water, we cannot put the basket over the fire because the wood would burn. But what we can do is we can put the water that we want to make our soup in with the ingredients like our salmon and our potatoes. And then we take stones and we put them by the fire, and the stones glow red hot. And then we drop the stones into the basket. And in this basket, our soup is made, and the boiling stones heat up the water and boil the water. And we share this stew with all of our friends and family. And it keeps us warm on a cold winter's day when we are in our longhouses, which are made of logs. We Suquamish people like to be comfortable, like anyone else. And so we like to weave cattail mats. And we'd pick the cattails out of the nearby marshes and out of the nearby lakes where they grow. Now, cattails are quite wonderful because you can eat the base of them. They themselves are a very good food. You can eat them raw or you can cook them. But what we like to do is weave the cattails into mats, and it cushions us as we lay down, and it will cover our canoes, and it can line our walls, and we can use them for art and for decoration. For sleeping, we can use them as a blanket. We can even serve our meals on top of a cattail mat. And in our summer housing, they actually make the walls of our tents because we leave our long wooden log homes. And sometimes we go and camp for 1 month or 2 months, and then we move. Wherever the food has gone, we follow the food. And we dig up food, and we catch food. We catch all kinds of fish, from salmon, cod, trout, lake fish, ocean fish, but we also gather many things. We people believe that all things share the same breath. The beast, the tree, the man, the air shares its spirit with all of the life that it supports. We try to live in harmony with the land, and what we create, we give to the people when we pass and move on to the next life. And so it is. We do not believe that we inherited this earth from our ancestors. We believe that we are borrowing this earth from our children and that we pass it on to them. And so it will be someday when I pass, that I will pass this land on to my children and they will pass it on to theirs. We believe that man did not weave the web of life, that he is merely a strand in it. Whatever he does to the web, he does to himself. And these words I say to you because they are still true today, as true as they were when I said them many, many years ago.